About the same time that I was being nominated for Who's Who in America, I was being informed that I was shadow banned by the big boys of social media. Now that sounds like an oxymoron, but work with me on this. Facebook, Google, Twitter, and YouTube make a lot of hay and go through great lengths to silence conservatives. We all know the blatant attack on Alex Jones, but there are more subtle ways to interrupt the flow of information, and this is known as shadow banning. Methods range from Facebook jail to disabling links. The manipulation of numbers is a psychological weapon to discourage the posting of conservative thought. This became apparent to us here at the butcher shop recently when we wrote an article for the Tea Party Tribune. The idea was simple. Brother Theo and I had recorded a radio show where we talked with Doc Greene on his right side of the mic, and it was broadcast by American Voice Radio. It was similar to our daily think tank phone calls, and we edited it and put it up on YouTube. Then we constructed an article on the Tribune. It was a simple idea. We put a picture of Theo and I and a direct link to the very YouTube video that we had previously put up. The video was actually the entire article. There was only one thing the reader could do, and that was click the link and watch the video. It is not reasonable to think that a majority of readers would not click the link. Then we discovered an anomaly. We understand the differences in numbers that can happen when the various algorithms crunching said numbers will lag behind or lunge ahead of other platforms. We could see a backwater shift of the counts. What we could not understand was differences as large as the Gulf of Mexico. As usual, there were hundreds of reads on the Tribune. YouTube, 9 views. YouTube only counted the views where we edited the video and no clicks were brought in from the public. This is an effort to discourage us from posting. If nobody's watching, why bother? Well, that's because it's a lie. Two things put the lie to this. One, as previously stated, it is unreasonable to think that a substantial number of readers did not click the link, and two, YouTube forgot to censor the comments. And there were comments. Just as we expected, our distribution network yielded the expected interest, but YouTube has shadow banned it by posting false numbers, hiding the real activity. Real people are reading, watching, and sharing our stuff. While social media can jack with the numbers and give the illusion of a lack of interest, it cannot stop the actions of thousands of conservatives reading, watching, and sharing, lighting a candle in the darkness one mind at a time. That's how you get nominated for Who's Who with 9 lousy views. Quite similar to Hillary's poll numbers as opposed to the current occupant of the White House. Conservatives are quite simply the literal silent majority. Why did the social media giants do this? Well, they always have. In the last century, information was disseminated by entities such as the New York Times, Life magazine, and CBS. They have always manipulated public opinion. The only problem now is that the public is directly involved via the internet. Someone left the door open and the wrong dogs came home. While back in the day the average American would believe every jot and tittle in the New York Times, today it is assumed that they are lying or at least skewing the truth. The only question is, are they lying for us or are they lying for them? And they package it so as to arouse that little bump in the back of your head, that snake that fed Eve the apple pie. They don't want you to use the front part. They know that you will believe a porn star over a double PhD in political science. Did someone say Stormy Daniels? But the lords of social media are contributing to their own demise by the sheer necessity of having to have huge subscriber bases in order to work their agenda. And they can shadow ban all they want because they are not the only shadows out there. There are others, thousands of them, reading, watching, sharing, one piece at a time, using the very algorithms designed to keep the sheep in the pen. But, such as the butcher shop, are the black sheep, and we got out.